What a waste of my time. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 11th episode of the show, Power Rangers in Space, as well as the 261st episode overall titled The Delta Discovery. We begin this episode in a forest where Piranhatrons are guarding something. Yes, Piranhatrons. Divatox is there too with Rygog, and it's freaking Zordon. Remember him? She says to take him somewhere, and they start to unravel fabric over him, like there's literally anything that he can do from inside of a tube. A Piranhatron senses something and he whispers, I guess, to Divatox. We then see the Phantom Ranger. Remember him? He's running through the forest and he puts a device down, speaking to it as a message to the Power Rangers. This is apparently a planet called Hercuron, and he gives the coordinates. He says there's very little time and they need to hurry. He stops the message and he goes to fire it up into the sky, but it's hit out of his hands by Divatox and crew. They launch an attack on him and he's doing pretty decently. He gets the gun back, firing the message into the sky, launching it into space, beeping. Dekka picks up on an emergency signal and the Rangers come together on the bridge. Ashley says it's a message from the Phantom Ranger and Cassie is instantly wet over this. They get the message and they're stoked to hear about Zordon, and they set course to Hercuron and go into Hyper Rush 9, like that's a thing. Meanwhile, the Piranhatrons are carrying Zordon while others keep fighting Phantom. Divatox tells everyone to hurry up because the other Rangers are probably on their way. Phantom then goes invisible, which I feel like he could have done before. Divatox tells the others to chase him, but somehow they all fall down. Whatever. Phantom catches up with Zordon, but Astronema shows up in front of him, stopping him. Her Quantrons help carry Zordon away, and Astronema is stoked to see the Phantom is alone. She fires at him, knocking him back to the ground. They then attack him, hitting him from all sides. He's now fighting off two separate armies, and he's actually doing pretty well. Wait, was this what Astronema needed a bunch of Quantrons for at the end of last episode? Elgar on the ship sees the Rangers are on their way, so he alerts Astronema via like a weird phone thing. Elgar then tells Astronema how she's the smartest boss he's ever had, and Divatox finds out that it's him on the phone, and he starts freaking out. Elgar then hides away, and wow, this is amazing. Divatox then yells at Astronema, but Dark Spectre shows up in the sky to break things up, telling Astronema to go do stuff. He then tells Divatox to leave with Zordon ASAP, and then she kind of gives him some lip before he calls her out on it, and then of course she immediately starts sucking his ass again. They start to leave, and Phantom is still fighting off these armies. They then lift off with Zordon, and the Phantom has totally failed this mission. Then Ecliptor shows up, hitting him down. The Rangers teleport out of the ship via the tubes to Hercuron, and Ecliptor has the Phantom cornered, but then he tells the patrollers to leave because he wants to handle this alone. That's like really dumb and totally unnecessary. The Rangers show up, and of course Cassie makes sure Phantom is okay. Astronema tells Ecliptor to return immediately as they have bigger plans, so he disappears. Phantom says he'll be fine, but he's not doing great. He then explains how Zordon was kidnapped again, so Andros asks Alpha for a vapor trail on Dark Spectre's ship, which means that vaping is truly evil. Alpha says that he's lost the trail though, so... On Earth at a lake beach, a gross-ass, fake-ass crocodile is there in the water. Dekka lets Alpha know about the monster, and he calls the Rangers right away. Andros says they have to go back, but Ashley's like, Zordon, I guess just screw all those other people then. Phantom says he'll go after Zordon, but first he gives a disc to Andros for the Delta Megaship, a new fun toy that you guys should buy ASAP. It's completely unguarded, so hurry. Andros will go get the Delta Megaship and the others will go to Earth to fight the monster, and Phantom will go after Zordon. Everyone moves out, and turns out Phantom's wiry titty was hurting this whole time. What a waste of my time. Alpha tells the four Rangers about the monster at the lake, and oh my god, they're going down the tubes again, except TJ just screamed, "Let's rock it!" beforehand. They flip into the scene by the lake, and they're getting attacked by the monster, who immediately is biting the crap out of TJ. He's also tossing around Carlos, but they're saved by Ashley and Cassie with their weapons. Then Astronema gives us blue balls over this awesome fight by using the Satellasers, making him giant. Also, Andros is slowly going through space. Cool. They call it the Astro Megazord, and they start fighting against the monster, whose name is apparently Crocovile. Apparently. They toss him down, and Carlos calls out for the Astro Megazord Saber, and they slash, and it looks like they've won, but then this dude just turns into two. What? Why? How? Andros is going through a 90s meteorite field too. They then try the blaster with the Megazord, but nope. Now they're getting munched on both sides. Andros then turns his Galaxy Glider around, and it's just the Delta Megaship. How did you not see that before? Couldn't they just fly there in their Megaship? Andros goes in and he starts getting direction from the Phantom Ranger, and he goes through a passageway, going downstairs. This is boring. The Rangers also still suck against the two Crocoviles. I mean, you get it. Andros is still walking around and he finds a door that says control room and he goes in. He asks Phantom what to do next and he tells him to open the security disk reader, but Andros can't find it. But then he finds it. There are 2 slots now and he asks Phantom which slot, but then Phantom is passing out. Andros takes out the disk and he can't figure out which is which. This is a shitty excuse for tension. TJ tells Andros to hurry the hell up and Andros can't get in touch with Phantom because he's like taking a nap or whatever. Andros then just shoves it into one slot and then he's freaking out because everything is red and it starts counting down from 10. And he seems to just accept the fact that he's probably gonna die. Then it says it's ready for Battleizer command. Ooh, the Battleizer. Haven't heard that word yet. Andros gets a new wrist toy and he uses it to launch the Delta Megaship, which takes off way too quickly toward Earth. It also just says that it's initiating Megazord transformation. Also, the Astro Megazord is sucking. Then here comes the Delta Megazord, which lands in front of them, and for some dumb reason, the others are confused as to what it is. Bitch, what do you think it is? Andros shows them how the Battleizer controls it, and he activates the Gyro Blasters, which fire the 2 crocodiles. Now it's 2 against 2. Delta is just like punishing these monsters with his giant fucking Gatling arms, and then they finish the battle by both firing at the same time, blowing the shit out of these 2 crocodiles, which were literally never named on screen. Astronema is out in the desert, speaking with Dark Spectre, who has a new plan to kill the Rangers now. Also, Dark Spectre says to not fail him again or else he'll crush the Dark Fortress while she's asleep. Damn dude, calm down. On the Hercuron, the Rangers show up, splitting up to find the Phantom Ranger. They're screaming for him as they walk around all together. Great splitting up. Cassie finds his message bottle thing from before and they get together. Andros knows what it is and starts it. It projects a tiny phantom, letting them know that Obi-Wan Kenobi is their only hope. Also, bye, go find Zordon or whatever. Cassie is bummed that he's gone and Andros says, I know. Why would you know? They power down and Cassie is really upset about this. They start to leave and the message starts up again and Phantom tells her not to worry about him because he'll be okay. Her dumbass then just waves at a holographic image. The end. This episode is freaking weird. I mean, the first act is really like intense and riveting. I mean, we're seeing Divatox and crew for the first time in a while, and it's really interesting to see the dynamics between them and Astronema since, you know, she's kind of taken over everything. But then we get this whole find the Delta Megaship BS that really kills the rest of the episode because Andros does it all alone, even though it wasn't even necessary to be done alone. And honestly, the Delta Megazord is kind of boring. Like, he doesn't really do anything cool and he has nothing to truly offer here besides just standing there and shooting bullets. Also, why are they still pushing this Cassie loves Phantom, Phantom loves Cassie thing? It's weird and kind of creepy, and it really feels like a terrible plotline to put onto a female ranger because it's like one of maybe 2 things Cassie has going for her. And I really wish they just kept her as like this punkish, aloof girl who she was in her introduction. Not the girl who's so desperate for someone to like her that she'll end up fucking her dog. So will next episode showcase literally anything cool about the Delta Megazord? Probably not, but until then, may the power protect you.